One of the things that we want to be really careful of is with the young horse, with a foal, with any horse actually, the stick and string are great for so many things, like, you know, swinging around the airspace, you know, like touching parts, the legs, teaching them that this is just an extension of our arm. It's all great, right? What you have to be careful of is that you might have another horse that you can do driving with, and you can tap the hindquarters or the shoulders or the chest, and they understand it. But this can become so offensive and cause them to strike, because if you just go and tap his chest right now, he might just think, well, I'm going to tap you back. He doesn't think backwards. He thinks, you know, it's like a punch or something at him, so he's got to punch back. So one of the keys to introducing, like kind of pushing the air bubble is with driving is the goal, and maybe what the tap is all about, is get him to yield off touch first. Then can I add a little bit of drive at the bottom as he's going back, and just show him tap, 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 push the air away, or push him away to increase the distance, get a little more air between the two of us. So same thing even on the hind, if I was to start to teach him this, because we know all the things that this will be good for. So if I can just draw a little here, wave here, it really doesn't mean anything. I just don't go tap him. Just go lightly, just kind of showing him there's something to this. Oh, we got to use the bathroom first here. We're thinking about other things. Trying to do a lesson here. So here we go, like this, draw here a little wiggle, then light touch, 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 more just trying to show him there. Now I'm going to try to see if I can get him to understand with less pressure here and more here. Just tap, light tap, just bothersome kind of. That happened more off my hand, but then I can finish with a little bit of it, right? What to do. See, he doesn't know what that means at all. So I'm going to teach him in my hand. So I don't just keep tapping bigger until he's like, this really sucks. Then you create this tension and nervousness about the horseman stick that you don't want. It is a great tool and a great extension, but he has no comprehension of this. So I'm going to show him. A little bit of up. It's right there. Let's try it again. Almost. You can go away from it. It's important he learns to yield little circles. He doesn't know. Give him the rub. Let's try it again. Just till any little, there it goes. I think that kind of the penny dropped. Let's try again. Does it mean anything? There. So just the introduction of it is okay. Now, this is where the flag though can work a lot better. So you take a flag, and he's already a pretty tame little colt, but I can take the flag like this, come here, and I can kind of push that air bubble a little more. So he's pretty good about this, you know, all my rubbing has been good, but now I can drive at him like this and show him more about that air bubble without giving him a zinger. So I can give him a little bit of, like, you got to move off of that. See, it's a different thing rather than this like acute tap with the stick. So I can flag that, make that noise, make that bit of, like, now he's got to learn to yield right here. And that was all, even though he went more forward, that was all from the pressure of this. So even this can block him over there. So he now he's going to start getting a look about him, maybe, that he has a little bit of care. And he's so, in a way, quiet, he can almost get dull. The problem was if I let him get dull, then they'll explode and it seems like, well, it came out of nowhere. Well, the dullness was actually building up a thickness. So I need him kind of alert, and I need him to learn how to yield, and learn how to yield softly and willingly. So if I take him over here, I can lead the shoulder and move that. He doesn't know what to think of that. Now he's taking note. It's the first introduction to this. Now can I go to the hindquarters? A little bit right here. Not have him run. I want to turn into a hindquarter yield. Here we go again. I'm not do this till it starts to make sense. But now he's taking note at least. Right there. And now he's really taking note. He's getting a little spooky of it. But he's taking note, so I can put that spooky into a category like a hindquarter yield. I like the look now. I like he's a little more alert, not like kind of a dope on the rope over there. There you go. I'm very careful. I come way over here, up above, but I'm really careful to take it through underneath his eyes like that. I'm getting the hindquarter yield first. Now remember, the one thing I do have is I have personal space. He'll get out of the way. You don't want to be yielding the hind and the horse turns and runs you over. That was an actual hindquarter yield, buddy. Let's do it again. Another hind. Now here, I'm going to flag it a little bigger, make a little noise. Till it yields. Let's do it again. Till there's the hind. Does that make any sense? We're looking for some processing, some understanding. He's not going to give it. That's okay. At first, you'll notice, guys, it seems like at first they're just putting there. They're putting up with it to think, I wish this would just end. And then eventually there's going to be an understanding start to begin to happen. And never let a quiet horse fool you into that means it's a tame or respectful horse. They are very, very different things. Hindquarter to yield. Okay, so I'm going to take it underneath now, from eye to eye, and I'm going to push him back. I'm going to block my space. What he can't do is have any sense of coming at me, even if he's worried. You got to be thinking away. Now I'm going to take that energy from away and see if I can push a little bit of that at him. There. So it was more my body, but I added that flag in. So there's the hind, and then I'm going to get him going backwards. So that he can learn, I can kind of push on this, but he's got to be mentally thinking and be willing to go back, and then when he goes back, he can get a bit of release from this, or he will strike. Yeah, there you go. Now here, let's practice our tying. So let's see if he can come forward. Wow, I'm surprised how nicely he came forward off of that, which is excellent. Let's stop him, teach him to yield here. Let's ask him back now. If he's not going to do it and he's thinking forward, I'll bump him back with my hand and tell him to go. Now I'll do the shoulder, good, not trotting. Now the hind, good. Now the back up, step in him, you got to go. There's the hind, there's the back up, sorry. And then there, I think they had some understanding in it. Let's do it again. A little bit of yielding, little yield. And this is so much nicer than if you just had the stick without the flag on it, because you know there'd be tapping, there'd be resistance to that, all that kind of stuff. So now let's go to this other hindquarters, see if I can still rub him, which I can. So he's not worried of it. He's going to learn to yield to this and become a calmer, braver, smarter horse as a result. That a boy. What is that about, huh? What is that about? Like that. My body language is also accompanying this yield. There you go. And we'll go to the back up. Beautiful. We'll go to the back up. Let's go to the shoulder. Push that front end across. Good. Rub them, let it show up on the other side. That showing up on the other side is a big deal. I talk a lot about that in starting the young horses. That horse Earl that I started in the Colt Start series, you know, that's bringing that flag across, like taking the saddle pad. There's a nice hindquarter yield. Hindquarter yield. A back up. A little bit of one. Shoulder. It's going to be probably enough of a session for today. Shoulder. Let's do this one hindquarters. Let's get rid of that. Let's go. You know what we should do, Geronimo? We should just rest here and we should just pick those feet up. What do you think of that? That would be the easy thing to do nowadays, wouldn't it? Because I got to get him trimmed before he's going to come back to the James Creek Ranch. And I think I'm getting ready to bring the nippers tomorrow. Start a few rasp strokes here and there. Let's see if I can lead him forward. Throw that rope over. Now, remember, he's 5 months old. Horses are a precocial species, so they can do so much learning at a young age and preparing. It doesn't have to be long sessions, just good horsemanship sessions. Put him into the hands-free position. Excellent. Let's try this hind leg. This hind leg is one that's ready to be picked up. Let's pick it up. There you go. I'm going to step back a little further. Okay, I'm going to rub that other one. Reach across here. Rub the cap of the hock. Rub all that mud off there. See if I can pick it up again. Attaboy. Give him a little stretch. And that'll be a nice session. So that's a full, there you have it. That's kind of what I've been doing. Not that much, obviously not with the flag, but with leg handling. And then maybe we'll get to the point where we can get some circling done, sending him around. Need better footing, so we won't go into the indoor to do that today, but I think this is more than enough of a session for this young guy today. So thanks for joining us.